Hello, this is Timo and this is another video of my project where I'm talking and building my old Lego. Today we're going to build a smaller set, to be precisely set 6665. And it's bearing the name Rivers Runners. And it was released in 1994. That's exactly 30 years ago. There's a story, I think, with this set, but let's just first start and then we will talk about it. First, we have to start with the minifigures. So I think this set is completely based, or completely, like more or less based on a movie that was released actually the same year. The River Wild, with Meryl Streep, Kevin Bacon, and the other guy that is always playing like thieves or someone from jail or something. Yeah, I forgot his name. Anyway, I checked, and the movie was released in '94, and yes, I remember, I think because of this movie there was this entire hype in the early 90s with boats and wild rivers and rafting and all this stuff, which was a totally unknown thing before, and then it got so popular and everyone wanted to do it. Yes, and I think it was related to, I know actually for sure it was related to this movie. Yeah, and in the movie, yeah, this actor what I was talking about, he actually plays bad guy. I think they just escaped from the jail together with Kevin Bacon, and then yeah, they just they I think they can only go one way, and that's just down the stream with the boat with Meryl Streep on it and some kids, I think. Yeah, and I don't know what happened with this hype, with this wild river, wild water stuff. You know, all these theme parks also, I think they also started having this wild river rides and everything, you know, with boats going down the slide and everything. And that's basically it all started around that time, you know. And I remember me, my mother, my sister, we were in France in one of the summers, I guess also 94, 95. And I think it was my sister that was totally into let's go rafting, you know, let's do this, you know. And then we actually ended up not rafting, but going with a canoe or a kayak. I never know the differences. I think it's different in different languages, you know. One is with one pedal and one is with two, and I never know which it was, but we had two, I think. So, and the plan was this was like a kind of day trip event. You could just go there. I think you had to go there with a bus, and then you all got a boat, like a canoe, and then yes, and then you could go. It was supposed to, you had to just run down the river, run down the wild river. But yes, so the problem was that there was a very dry season, so the river was almost like not a lot of water, so there was also no stream. It was just a very almost not moving river. And yes, and then so I don't know, maybe if you go down a wild river and it takes the entire trip takes like 20 kilometers or something, then you will be there quite soon because the stream is just bringing you there. But if there's no stream, you have to spend a lot of time moving the boat by yourself. And so that was the case. And then there was certainly one part where it was certainly a lot of stream, and it was funny because everyone was participating. All the people were just getting totally overwhelmed and surprised by this one spot where just suddenly there was like water rushing down and you had to be focused. So every second boat was just capsizing, and me not. I went first, and then my mother and my sister, they were sharing a canoe, and I just lost them. And that was a super unpleasant experience because I didn't know if they capsized there, if they maybe had an accident or maybe like drowning or something. And I was like basically like 1 hour or something, or it felt like a long time in uncertainty. And then I was just sitting on the shore somewhere, just resting down because I was also very tired of this entire thing. And first you have to exercise a lot, and then suddenly you are like in this hyper thing, like, okay, focus, or you capsize, and then and then I had to wait in uncertainty, and not knowing what happened to my mother and my sister. And I think I was like 12 years old or something, something like that age. So that was quite tough. And then suddenly they just showed up. They were stuck somewhere. I think problem with the canoe or something. They were not able to move, but they were totally fine. And yes, that is my experience with taking a boat on the wild water, in a wild river. And and that's all what I remember when I see this Lego set. Then I remember this experience I had by myself. And which was a very unpleasant experience. And you can imagine also that I'm not such a fan of, I already mentioned it, I think, before, that I'm not such a fan of sailing. And I'm not such a fan in general, I think, of going on a boat on the water. Maybe if the water is just very chill and not a lot of waves or stream. But if that's the case, if there are waves or stream, I'm not sure. I'm not just a type for this kind of stuff. I'm just easily scared and easily maybe in a panic or something. I'm not proud in it or something, but on it. But that's just how it is. Maybe I have talents somewhere else and not with boating on a wild river. Yes. So then Lego released this set. Following this popularity with this entire rafting and wild river thing. And it's interesting because, it's too early. It's interesting because if there would have been already this licensed stuff, then maybe they would have made an entire theme with this movie, because yes, it was very popular back then. I remember there was really this hype going on, like everything wild on the water, like rafting, like canoeing, like, I don't know what else you can do on the water. Catamaran. This is actually a catamaran. I think all those boats are actually catamarans, right? They always have this kind of shape. But I think in the movie it looks like a big rubber boat. But this is a catamaran, as far my knowledge about boats is reaching. So now I was quite talking a lot, and now I have to check if if I did everything correctly. It's not that difficult. It's not like a Lego Technic set. You cannot make a lot of mistakes here. And if you make the mistakes, you just easily can just fix them. But until now, it's quite flawless, maybe you can say. So now we have just to put all this gear they are bringing on the boat. I have to put all the gear that they're bringing on the boat. Yeah, that's what I actually wanted to say. So yes, so this is a quite small set because I think we're already finishing soon. And by the way, this I already built it inside, but this giant piece, I think it was quite new in that time, and I saw some pictures of this Star Wars sets, this giant Star Wars sets, and then they just used like, I don't know, like 20 of them in it, you know, like a lot, or maybe even more. But it's funny how this new pieces first are introduced, and then slowly they got used more and more, you know, in sets. You see them more and more appear in sets. And I always wonder how they do this, like with developing this kind of parts, you know, like they really have to think very out of the box, like big, you know, like what you want to do with this piece, you know. So because there's like this studs here, you know, and they could also just have left it out, but it's actually smart because then you can actually do more with it, you know. So yeah, I'm really interested how this works. I mean, so you have the Lego designers and they design the sets, and I think sometimes they just need a new piece and then they kind of talk about it and see if it makes sense to develop that new piece. And then I guess there's a team that is just developing these pieces, these new parts, and they are really wise guys, like wizards, and looking in the future, like, okay, what do we want to do with this part? What can we all combine, you know, all these kind of functions, and it looks like this, but it can also look like this, you know. For example, like, I know, I just take a random piece, like this piece, and I don't know, you don't need a lot of imagination to imagine that you can do a lot of things with this stuff. You can make, for example, like a robot, like it's the arm of a robot. It's like a fork also. And if you put it upside down, it looks also different again. And then they always use it in Lego City. They always use it for boats to represent the how you call it, the propeller. Although it's not really a propeller, it's like a kind of fork, just sticking upside down in the water. But yes, you always see this coming back again, this kind of feature. But this is what I'm talking about. They develop piece, and then they just make it as multifunctional as possible. I think this is how it works. So we're reaching the end. We're getting somewhere now. And okay. Then this is there. Okay, I get it. And this one is just there. And then they all have just like something in the hand, like a pedal, or I'm not sure if that's the English word for it, pedal. I'm just sometimes assuming, if I don't know, that it will sound like quite like the Dutch word for it, you know. And with the visor, back then it was actually, a good guess, you know. And of course, English and Dutch, they are both Germanic languages, so it's very likely that some things are just the same word, especially when like, you know, like Pfizer, of course, it's from the time with the knives, and they all had this metal stuff, you know. So and that was approximately, I guess, the time that also these languages were developing, and that German moved to Great Britain, and then it evolved in English. So then you all had these words just getting copied, getting moved to the other language. And a pedal, I don't know if that was already a word in those ages. Maybe, yeah, they also had boats, right? They also had boats with pedals. If you don't know, if this is not the correct English word, then you have no idea probably what I'm talking about. But it's basically like the thing that this young lady is holding in her hand. By the way, this was also a bit of time in '94 that they all got these printed faces. And now, I mean, kids of today, you know, when they see modern Lego sets, they think it's so logic that they all have just nice, not identical printed faces. And but yes, everyone that grew up till the early 90s remembers the typically Lego minifigure smiling face, which itself already is something nostalgic, you know, because you don't have this anymore in Lego sets, that they just release a Lego set with a smiley face, you know. So yeah, okay, I think that's it. It ends with a nice picture. Looks like a bit like directly taken from this the river wild, it's what's called, yeah. Looks also like this kind of guys that are just escaped and finding the treasure back again after they escaped from jail. And yeah, okay, there we have it. That's a nice set. I can just put it here. I was saying that's a nice set. Yeah, small, but I think very unique, because I don't remember that Lego had anything like this, Lego City. So it's nice that they had this also, being inspired by probably Hollywood. But yeah, but I think also when it would have been a license, when they already would have been in these license things, what they have now, you know, in the modern days, they would definitely have made like a way bigger licensed team out of it. And maybe they had it actually later, but I don't know, because for me, Lego after 1999 is just black out. Just, I don't know what happened there. There are still basically 20 years, 25 years that I have to discover of Lego. Yeah. Anyway, that's the set. I hope you liked this video. Please subscribe to my channel. That's very important. Yeah, hope to see you soon in the next video, and I wish you a wonderful day. Goodbye.